New information right now in the case against Casey Anthony. As News 13's Melissa Crabtree reports, her grandmother talks about Casey stealing money, and a private investigator for Cindy and George Anthony talks about getting freaked out at the site where Caylee's remains were eventually found.
One of the players in the Caylee and Casey Anthony saga is Dominic Casey. On January 7th, Orange County Sheriff investigators questioned him about his search for Caylee, specifically his search in the area where Caylee's remains were eventually found. Dominic Casey explains why he ended up at the scene where remains were collected off of Suburban Drive prior to the discovery. Casey said the tip came from a clairvoyant who had visions of Caylee in the woods. He says the psychic was on the phone with him as he walked through the woods, and she had visions of 3 concrete blocks. Casey told investigators he went walking into the woods 25 to 30 feet, looked around, and, quote, "I could see these pavers. I was not on the phone then, and I saw these pavers, and then I'm totally freaking out." He left, but later Dominic Casey went back to the site. He never found anything under the pavers. But police continued to question Casey about why he never notified investigators about his tip and what he saw. He says he was upset. Quote, maybe there's a little girl out there. If Caylee Marie's there, then she needs to be found in a respectful manner. The other interviews include discussions about the relationship between Casey and Cindy Anthony, and also with Casey's grandmother, Shirley Plessy. Plessy says Casey stole money from her at least twice. The first was $54 by forging a check to pay for Caylee's second birthday party. In the August 21st interview, Plessy says Casey didn't have to take the money. Quote, "I would have gladly given her some money." Plessy says later on, Casey stole $354 from another account of hers and told Cindy Anthony if the bank wants to arrest her, they're going to because I told them they could. She also told detectives, "I would have pressed charges, but for Caylee's sake and for Cindy's sake, I didn't want to." In Orange County, Melissa Crabtree, News 13.
Also, Cindy Anthony's coworkers told investigators about how Cindy Anthony was upset that she couldn't see or talk to Caylee in the month before the little girl was reported missing. Some of the other documents released include descriptions of forensic evidence. Now, you can look at them all yourself on our website, cfnews13.com. Next in the case to tell you about as well, there are several outstanding motions, some filed last week. Hearing dates for those have not yet been set. And in the Zenaida Gonzalez civil case against Casey Anthony, depositions for George and Cindy Anthony are scheduled for April 9th. Remember, we have a timeline of the case and backgrounds on all the people involved. Again, that's on our website, cfnews13.com.